Hi everyone, it's Carolyn Zaiser here to share another channeled message. This one is also from Celeste and me, where we get together and we just chat and we channel. And so we've decided to start sharing these, and this is another one. This one is interesting because I've been pondering this, and I said, Celeste, I really want to talk about this sometime because I don't fully understand. So basically what it turned into was a conversation with a lot of channeling because we wanted to understand this better, is the awakening journey and awakening in past lives and then awakening in this life, and why does it matter, and how does this all come together to create the ascension. It's a very interesting conversation back and forth between Celeste and me, and then the channeled information we get that combines to talk about this story of awakening and how it's not just about this life, and how has it appeared in our past lives as well? And what does that even mean? So stick with us on this because it's fascinating. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Carolyn. I'm a channel. I'm a distance energy healer, and I'm a spiritual awakening mentor. And I offer these channels for your awakening journey support. Often the light keepers are popping in, giving you channeled messages for your spiritual awakening journey. Celeste and I usually pick more esoteric topics because we're just talking about things, but it all has to do with your ascension and awakening journey and all these mystical, magical things that we haven't known until we go through this process. So I hope you enjoy this video today, and please like, share, and subscribe, and remember to click the notification button so you know when I post a new video. Thank you, and enjoy the video. Here's what I've been wondering. So we're all in this big awakening phase, right? A bunch of us in humankind at this moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
Have we awakened before in different lifetimes? And what's that about? Then why are we back? Why did we awaken multiple times? Do we awaken multiple times? What's the point to awaken more than just this time? And not have, you see what I'm saying? It's like, does it have to be?
And I'm already getting stuff. So
okay, go then.
Okay, so I'm getting that, yes, we have gone through this process before, not just here on Earth, but also in other galaxies and star systems, like the Pleiades and the Arcturus star system and the Sirius star system, all of those, right? That we have all
I just heard practice. Sorry, I just heard practice. Keep going.
Yes.
Keep going.
Yes. Yeah. And oh my gosh, I just got something else.
What?
Anasazi, are they're the ones that
ascended? The Anunnaki or the Anasazi? Anasazi disappeared apparently. I don't know what that's all about.
Because they ascended.
Is that why they did? They said that?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wondered. That's weird because they just came into my awareness. I was talking to somebody else about them today, and I just out of my mouth I said, well, you know, the Anasazi ascended, and I'm like, where did that come from?
There you go. That's such good confirmation.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, they just said as a group. What?
Yes, as a group. Yep.
You know what they just said? I didn't know this is where this was going, but oh, it has to do with the collective thing. They reached a vibration as a collective.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, wait. So if that's the case, if they didn't reach the 100th monkey thing or whatever, take the rest of humankind with them, obviously. So groups can. So I guess my next question is groups. Like, let's say we decided we're going off now for the next 2 years into the woods with 50 other people, and we're just going to work on ascension, and we're going to ascend as a group of 50 people.
Mm-hmm.
How did that play out? Why did a group, not the full collective? Are we working on the full collective now? You see my point?
Yeah. And I think we are working on the full collective now.
But so what we're saying
is we past, so because I don't think the Anasazi, I can never remember.
I don't know.
There's too many Anunnakis.
Anasazi is Southwest US.
Okay, that's who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But they're not the only group who ascended together, because I feel like one of the was it the Mayans and the Incas?
Yep, and you know what I'm hearing? It's all about vibration. All you have to think about is if you get high enough, vibratorily.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but wait a minute. If you get high enough vibratorily, okay, they just said you have the opportunity to ascend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, they just said to another dimension.
Yeah. Where they're not seen by the rest of the collective. Mm-hmm.
What dimension is that?
5th or higher. I think it's 5th or higher. And just on a little side, I'm just going to take a step to the side path.
Yeah, go ahead.
That is why we don't see, that's why some of us aren't able to see the ships in the skies,
Right.
or the dragons in the skies, because we are not at a vibrationally high enough place to see them.
There are some people that can currently. However,
True.
The other interesting part is some of those same people don't necessarily have some of the other kinds of, we'll just say, intuitive gifts. Like, it's a different thing. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's one of their gifts, right?
Right.
So what's, is it all equal, and what does that even mean? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
So that veil starts getting pulled back. But the point, okay, so we're kind of combining all this. I think this is an interesting discussion, but so they ascended as a collective.
Mm-hmm.
So they awoke. They woke up, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I just heard? Well, yeah, they lived that way. Woke.
Yes. They already were practicing high vibe living, right?
They were they were attached to Gaia. They didn't have any of the stuff we have nowadays.
And I'm getting that they were incredibly isolated from outside influence.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they could.
And I think, was it the Maya that also did that?
Well, I don't know. This is
okay,
human.
So one or both of them, because I can't remember, but I know that a group in South America ascended as well.
Okay, let's not go there, because I want to go back to what we really came here to talk about.
Okay.
Came here to talk about what showed up. So we're talking about like the Anasazi ascending together. So we're not really talking. I was trying to get at more the awakening part, like why the heck in our past lives, because we've identified, I think, maybe where we've awakened before, or we know somebody who's awakened. We're talking about historical figures who were awakened when we have these conversations. But what's the point in that? What is the point in that? They didn't ascend. Did that allow them then to more fully complete a purposeful mission they came to complete?
Well, I think that was the mission. So for example, let's say that there's someone who was a Tibetan monk. And let's say that they did reach the ascension phase or stage or place, right? Because they were off in a monastery, meditating all the time, doing whatever their spiritual practices were. And so individually, they were able to ascend.
In that awaken, okay, as an individual, they woke up. Okay, and I wasn't even really thinking about talking about ascension, but I guess that's kind of the point. You wake up so you can ascend, correct?
Yeah. But
you know what I just heard?
What?
Okay, now this is going to send us in a weird place. This is all weird. So I'm hearing not always.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because I think there's this idea that when you ascend, you never come back. Not true.
See, I'm not getting that.
No, I know.
I'm not getting that. I think that idea is true, but I don't know. People
I think there's that idea out there.
But I don't think it's true.
It's not true.
It's not true.
No, that's what
I'm getting. It's not true.
No, me too.
That we have so many different opportunities to experience different experiences. So, for example, one soul could have an experience of being a Tibetan monk and ascending in one lifetime, and then in another lifetime, they could decide to be a Tibetan monk and not ascend, even though they try their whole life. And let's say they come back now as just, common man out on the street, 3D world, and now is in the process of working through their ascension journey.
Right, which basically goes to what they said, which was, no, you can awaken and not ascend. They're not two different things. Okay, they're not linear either, they said.
That's right. But then again,
is it? I don't know anything about
our lives aren't linear either.
It's not linear, like ascending and so okay, this is getting real interesting. So, in my Carolyn's human head that knows very little or nothing about any of this other than what I've channeled, right? It's like, oh, okay. We're doing the awakening so we can ascend. But we know it's a bigger collective effort now. Mm-hmm. Granted, we don't know the past if there's been another huge collective effort like this before. Who knows, right? Mm-hmm. Who really knows?
Yeah.
So we all individually could choose to awaken and not ascend. I'm hearing yes.
Yes. In fact, you know what I'm getting? I think that's what we're going to be doing.
What?
We're going to awaken and we're not going to leave.
I've told you that because remember I've talked about this before. This is the thing. I keep saying, okay, all those of you who believe there's a planet coming and you're going to jump off and you're going somewhere else. No, we're doing all this here. No. We're fixing the mess we created because we were the ones in the past that did all this.
Right. Yeah. We have talked about this before. We are not ascending.
No, we haven't talked about that. Ascend. But we haven't talked about it like this at all.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
No. Mm-hmm. You've talked about it not connected to the awakening. Oh, God, now you've really said something. But I'm getting that that's what this is, Celeste. This is collective awakening, and we're sticking around, and we're cleaning stuff up. And we're rebuilding. We're doing like they said, the breakdown and the rebuilding happen at the same time because the rebuilding's happening at the same time. And I'm channeling like crazy right now. Rebuilding is happening at the same time because it's the same people that are awakening, they're rebuilding, but at the same time, the other stuff comes crumbling down, right?
Yeah.
This tandem process going on where the old structures are, the old energies coming down, and then we're building up, and you see it all over at the grassroots level, all these little, homespun businesses, all these little things that people are doing to change and create something different and beautiful. And, kind of sometimes go back to the ways that really very, very, very organic ways. But oh, that's it.
Yeah, we're not leaving.
No, I knew that, but I didn't connect it to, what I'm getting now? And this goes to the figure 8 thing. This is connecting a lot of things. The figure 8, they talked in a video.
The infinity symbol?
Yeah. But what they said was, we bring the energies in from our higher dimensions down into the 3D. So you're moving in your life this, in and out of the various dimensional energies and vibrations, but you're bringing it back into 3D. And as you're doing that, guess what? Everybody's going up like this.
Yeah.
Okay? What I'm saying? So you're bringing the vibe up because that's why we're spread throughout the entire world. So we can, like I said, we're like the little selenite wand stuck in the ground all over the world. I mean,
little pillars of light all over the planet. Yeah.
And the higher we go, the more it benefits the collective. And this is not an individual effort. I think a lot of people get hung up about so-and-so is in the whatever dimension and I'm in the X dimension. This is not an individual thing.
Mm-mm. Well, it is, and it isn't. Yeah. It's for the collective.
Correct.
Yeah. Right. We each individually we are all on our own journey, but it's for the collective, for the good of all.
You know what they just said?
What?
I think this is exactly what we're getting at. They said, oh God, maybe this is going to rock somebody's boat, but no one is ascending individually.
Right.
Okay, everybody, we're in this together.
I love it.
Nobody's ascending
all the way, people. We're all one.
So I do want to go back because I
Okay.
still don't feel like, and we can ask this question is, so let's just talk about past lives for a second. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So people are awakening in, they maybe awakened in past lives. Some of our past lives, maybe we've awakened.
hmm
What's the purpose of that?
hmm
What is the purpose of that? So,
Practice.
oh, they did say that, didn't they? They said
hmm
practice.
And I also feel that it was an individual experience. We're all creator beings, right? We're all part of the one source. So some of us were interested in trying that.
Opening up to the greatness of who you are is what I heard.
Yes.
In other words, it does allow you to, oh, they just said spread your wings. Because you don't feel, because think about it, when you're going through the way, you don't feel constrained anymore. You're like, you get it, and you're like, you know what? I can do anything. I mean, you start kind of feeling that way, right? I mean, they got to come through the sludge and deal with all of that and get that all taken care of. And then you start coming out into the light and you start feeling like I can really do things that I was told I couldn't. So it's was an individual journey back in the day. And again, we're talking linear time, and we know that, you can argue that doesn't exist, but we're going to talk like that because that's how we see things here in humanity. So now, though, it's a different time because we're all vibing higher and bringing that energy back in to rise the collective vibration.
You know what I just heard?
What?
Enjoy the ride.
Right, but I'm going to tell you, I have a whole different perspective on this now that we've got this information. I really do.
Yeah.
Okay, they just said this, and I mean, I know we know this, but when they say this, it kind of adds something. This is all about oneness.
Yes.
This time,
yes. But I don't think it was in the past, unless you were in one of those groups that just magically as a community just, ascended together.
Yeah, because that ties to all the stuff we just got. That ties directly to that.
Yeah. No, this is about us coming together in unity consciousness, collaboration, and understanding that we are all one. And staying here on the planet with that type of consciousness instead of just going, oh yeah, we're all one, we're ascending, oh, we're leaving, bye. No, we're going to stay here on the planet together and see what it feels like to work together. To take
to move to that next vibrational level as a planet and a collective.
Yes.
And then and see, we're going to see the shift and change in the way society is run, the way politics are run, the way
I think so too.
You can go to healthcare, education system. It's already starting at the ground level. All of this. Go look at what's happening.
On the ground level. Don't watch like regular media because you won't see it.
Go look what's happening at the ground level in everything.
The corporations. A
lot of people.
Insurance, taxes.
All this.
Financial.
Our structure in general.
Yeah. Yeah. The planet. Climate change. Huge one.
That's a whole other conversation too as to why that's, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and see, I knew we were here for the long haul. I mean, I've been told that since I started channeling, like, and I've done a few channels. I have a few videos on some of that this is not planet's here today. Let's go, guys. Bye.
No, I never got that was what was going to happen.
No, but the more each of us vibe higher and reach those other dimensions, whatever that even means, those energies, and being able to bring those back down and to use them day to day in what we do for the greater good, that's where you make the collective difference. And that's, I mean, really.
Yeah. No, this was a good conversation. This is an excellent topic.
And we're validated, we're staying here. That makes so much sense.
So many people talk about two earths.
Yeah. And that we're gonna look from afar and we're gonna see the tragedy and we're going to, but we're gonna train them how to do their thing.
I don't think that's true. I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing
Ready,
that we're going to,
ready.
as we ascend and go through the spiritual awakening process, we're going to help the people behind us.
And that's exactly what I got was, see, this is so interesting. And I remember having this visual of, and I never got the idea that we were going off into another planet, but I did know that, how do I want to say this, that there was this separation, I want to say separation of like vibratory, this is early on in my journey.
Vibratory separation, not physical separation.
Exactly. And what we're doing, yes. And so you'll still see people stuck in the muck, right? Like you do now. And you're separated from it, but you're vibing at a different level, helping them along.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's what it's going to be like.
Right.
It's like the two earths are together.
They are.
It's not.
Oh God, you know what they just showed me?
What?
Okay, you know how in geometry, oh God, it's probably called something. What are those called? Where you
the
do
Vesica Pisces.
Is that right? The overlapping circles?
Yes, that's the Vesica Pisces.
Oh, that looks weird. Don't I look like some kind of bot? Sorry. But you know, the circle and the circle that overlaps, and oh, what does the Vesica Pisces mean?
I'm not sure, but it's at Glastonbury.
Maybe that's what it means. I don't know. It looks like two Earths overlapping. We just got done saying that. The two Earths, yes.
Mm-hmm. They're going to be together.
They're going to be together.
Mm-hmm. So even in our personal lives, I think that we're going to have friends and family members who maybe not being able to ascend, or they're not going through their spiritual awakening process. They might be stuck in the old 3D paradigm, right, of separation. And then, but your own life, so you can witness and observe people you know struggling, but in your own life, you're going to be doing well.
And that's the whole idea of left behind. Do you know what I'm saying? The religious version of, oh, there's going to be a whole group of left behind. They're going to be left behind. No, it's like if they're still stuck in I'm just going to throw this out as an example, the news and fighting about politics and doing that whole thing that we do that we get sucked into, right? And they're still living in that world, and you're like, not living in that world. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
In bits and pieces.
I think it's evident just when you drive. Okay, so for example, when I drive down the street, I'm a very good driver. I'm always looking around, making sure that I'm safe, right? I'm an offensive driver. However, what I've noticed in at least the last 6 months is that people are not paying attention.
No. Oh, no.
Or they're having road rage. But I feel like I just have this bubble around me.
I agree with you. You're operating in okay, they want to talk about this, I think. Oh, so they said it's very hard to put into words. Okay. Okay, they're talking about, okay, now they're giving me a picture. It's like, oh, this is I don't know how to interpret this, like a translucent layer. Like say you have two sheets of translucent paper.
Yeah.
But you put it, okay, but you have a drawing on one, you have a drawing in the other, and they're showing it putting on top, overlaying, like an overlay on top.
Yeah.
But you still have two drawings. One's on one piece of paper, one's on the other, but it makes a whole picture.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. But they're overlapping, they're not connected. Oh my God, Carolyn, I'm getting chills on that one. That's a great analogy.
I was trying to explain how they were showing it, but that's what they're showing, yeah. Well, we'll just finish that there.
I love it. This was a good one.
I'm just a little stunned right now because I feel like a lot of the things we talked about, I understood a piece of it, but I just took 10 disparate pieces and put it together into an understanding. Okay, I hope you learned something. I was amazed by this. You know, I go back and always listen to these because I edit them before we post them. And I just sit there like this sometimes and I think, wow. because we always learn something when we channel together. It is just fascinating. So this is why we're recording all of these now. Every time we get on the phone, we start to record if we start talking about a topic where we start channeling. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. And as a reminder, Purple Rain Healing is where all my services are listed, including a service where Celeste and I work together to channel you an hour-long session of information from your spirit team. It's like getting multiple books in your soul journey versus a few chapters with one of us. So check out my services, purplerainhealing.com. I would absolutely love to work with you. And again, thank you for joining Celeste and me today.